And action. All right. For it, real quick to touch. Good. It is pouring down rain. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me today. Today we are going to talk a little bit about legs, how to grow them, what to do to grow them, and can you grow them? Because you sure can. You can grow your legs, your sister can grow her legs, your mom, your dad, and your cousin can grow their legs. I don't know why people in general do have a hard time growing legs, which is kind of the purpose of this video. It's one of the things I get asked most was just how did my legs get so big to the size that they are? If I can find some clips on my computer, I'm gonna throw those in right here to just show you guys my legs, some of my exercises and things like that, just to give you an idea so you're not like, this guy doesn't have legs. I'm not taking advice from him. This guy's got chicken legs. I'm gonna listen to him, man. I'm gonna throw this on the old protein jug, the very expensive camera rigging equipment that I have here. I wanna start out giving you guys a little backstory on me and when my legs started to grow, a little theory about how I think just we grow muscle-wise in general. And then we'll get into some lifts, movements, and some things you guys can do to actually take action on building your legs. So first, a little quick story about me. When I was prepping for my first show, I had small legs. I wish I had some of those pictures to share with you guys. Unfortunately, I can't find them. But when we started prepping for the show, my coach and I, my legs were actually lagging behind the rest of my body. Up until this point, my legs really didn't grow. I was by myself. This was the first trainer I had ever had, so I just hit legs like normal, once a week. You do what you know, you hit some squats, some extensions, maybe some lying leg curls. Those are easy because it's like machine, squat rack. I can do that. And that's pretty much everyone's safe space, And then the leg press too. My legs weren't responding right at first. And then his idea was, hey, we need this body part, it's a lagging body part, we need this body part to pick up right now. And so what we're gonna do is, instead of everyone else hits legs once a week, we're gonna hit them twice a week. Something else to go even further is we're gonna dedicate an entire day to quads, and then we're gonna dedicate an entire day to hamstrings. So you're hitting them twice a week, and you're hitting them hard. And also the other thing is a lot of people don't hit hamstrings at all. I'll ask people, well, what do you do for hamstrings? And they're like, oh, some lying leg curls. That's it. Like, that's where it starts and that's where it ends. And that is also, that's a huge problem right there. Real quick to touch on my own theory of how we grow, just in general, just all muscle groups. The way I look at it is like this. Like, let's pretend your muscles are a lock, right? And everyone has a key, but not all the keys, you're trying to make your key fit into this lock so that you can unlock it and your muscles will grow. If that makes any sense at all. In my head, it makes sense. I hope that it helps some of you. What we're trying to do is we're trying to find the right key to put in this lock to unlock our potential, okay? And the way you do that is you need to try a lot of different things. Like, up until that point, I had never thought to hit legs twice a week. I had also never thought to dedicate an entire day to hamstrings by themselves. So that's two things we did. And then some of the workouts we did were just off the wall insane. Like, one exercise he would have me do is leg press, right? And you would start with 5 plates on each side on the leg press. You do 20 reps, he would take a plate off. You do 20 reps, you take a plate off. You do 20 reps, take a plate off. You do 20 reps, and you just keep going and going and going. And that's one set. And then you do that 4 times. And that's the beginning of the workout. Then you go hit like extensions and some and then squats and things like that. Or another good one for squats was this. You do something like 25s on each side, so I think like 95 pounds. You do that for 25 reps, 4 sets. Then you go up 10 pounds each side. 25 reps per set, 4 sets. Then you go up 10 pounds on each side. 25 reps per set, 4 times. And then you do it again, and you're actually doing 400 squats. Now that was the whole workout, it took me over an hour, but I will tell you what, that was the most destroyed my quads have ever been. And that's the beginning part of when I really started to see slow but steady improvements in my legs. But one last thing I want to give you guys to maybe think about is when you're planning your own workouts and your own training is this. Everyone wants, and I know I use this a lot, but everyone wants a big chest, everyone wants big arms, and guys especially, we love, oh, it's chest day, I'm gonna bitch. Oh, it's arm day, oh heck yeah, I'm wearing the tightest shirt and the smallest cutout, and like, I'm gonna get it, and people's gonna check me out. Like that's, you know what I mean? You get excited and you love it, and then it comes to back day and you're like, eh, and then leg day and you're like, you know, and it's the same thing with calves. And here's the thing with legs, guys, here's the truth, okay? You don't, and I'm not the first one to explain it like this, so you may have heard it, but think of it like this. You do, let's say, in your total workout for arm planning, like when you sit down and some people write out a workout, some people think of it, people usually do about 15 to 18 sets for like biceps, triceps, chest, back, 15 to 18 sets, right? And that's good. Or shoulders is another good example. And they call it good. They're like, all right, awesome. And that is pretty good. Why? Because here's why. You don't walk on your arms. You don't walk on your arms. If you have an office job, here you go. This is you all day long. Nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying you're not exactly curling. You're not using your tricep. You're not using your chest. You're not using your back. If anything, you're slouched in the chair like this. This is how I type, kind of like a T-Rex. My point in saying all of this is it doesn't take a whole lot to shock that muscle, because anything you do with your arm, that muscle's like, whoa, like I haven't used this muscle probably all week. Your legs, guys, we walk on our legs every single day. So in theory and in a way to look at it is your legs are getting reps every day. You're sitting down, you're taking a dump, you're standing. Some of you are jumping, playing basketball. Maybe you're running, you're walking. You could be standing all day at the grocery store. Maybe you're a cashier and you're checking people out, whatever. That's the thing. You're always on your legs. So they develop, and muscles develop in response to what they're used for. And so your legs in general are strong, and that's where kind of like a powerlifter look comes in, because powerlifters can be really, really strong because of the way they train their muscles, but they don't necessarily have to be 200 plus pounds. I think what the issue is, a lot of people are taking the same mentality they have when they're planning their arms, their delts, shoulders, their back workout. When they're planning these workouts, they're going 15 to 18 sets as like a blueprint. You need to double that, I would say, like almost at the least. Especially when you start out, you need to hammer your legs. If you want them to grow, you need to hammer them. It's the same thing with calves. When people see me do calves, and mine they still aren't that great. So calves are even harder, because every time you push off your foot, you're using your calf. So it's a real pain, I'm telling you. But people will come up to me and ask about the calves thing too. And the thing is, you're always walking on your calves. And I'll ask them, how often do you do calves? And they're like, well, I do calves 2 times a week, 3 sets per day. That's 6 sets. 6 sets a week for calves. I'm not trying to be, any type of way here, but that's gonna do nothing. I do calves every single day, 3, 4, 5 sets every single day. And I still see minimal growth. You know what I mean? They are a very hard muscle. You really have to, and I'm guilty of this, because usually I do calves at the end of my workout, and I'm just like beat, and I do kind of go too fast through them. So you really, really, really need to focus on calves. Now that I've kind of explained to you guys and given you hopefully a good idea in your head why just those general concepts are important to know when planning your workouts, let's talk about some of the exact things that I do. So right now, my current split is this. I do quads and hamstrings on one day, but I go heavy and hard, or I'll do, mostly just to keep it basic for you guys, it's heavy. Go as heavy as you can with quads and hamstrings, destroy them. And then on Saturdays, actually on Fridays right now, what I'm doing is what my coach calls it is like a pump day. So it's a lot of reps. We don't really worry about the negatives as much. We worry about just moving the weight, getting a pump in the legs. As far as specific ideas for exercises, quads, okay. Squat, honestly, squats are great. They're great for building mass, but to be completely honest, I think that all my mass was built from leg press and the leg extension. That's just what I think, because for a long time I didn't do squats. All I did was leg press and leg extension. Another thing is like a sissy squat. You should look that up. That's a great one. I'll make a video if I get a chance to make a video on one of those. Front barbell squats, if you haven't tried those, try those out. Those are super, super tough. A lot of people that round their back with the back squat, you really can't. I mean, I guess you could, but you'll see what I mean if you try out a front squat. It's like you keep your core tight. Those are some really hard squats. Lunges, another thing you can do with lunges is don't just, bounce up and down, run down. Like really, you can do short step lunges, you can do long step lunges, you can go down really slow with the lunge, you can use a barbell, you can use dumbbells. Like right there is like 4 different ways to do just lunges. One thing that I started doing that I really love, and people will hate on this until they die, Smith machine squats. Everybody says you don't squat if you squat on a Smith machine and like all this stuff, right? But let's think about it. You're taking all of the, I get what they're saying, because you're kind of taking the core work out of it. You don't have to stabilize the bar and all that. But let's just think about this. I can now shift my focus from trying to keep myself even and keep the core tight and all those little things for a squat, and now I can just focus on just drive. You know what I mean? You go down on the Smith and you drive, and you go down and you drive. One problem that I'll warn you about, guys, is when you get under the bar, let's say this is the bar right here, when you get under that Smith machine, a lot of people, myself included, I used to, and I was corrected, they want to walk their legs out. So now the bar's back here, they want to walk their legs out, so the bar's like that, and their feet would be here, and the bar would be here, so you're kind of like that. And in their head, they think, well, I'm kind of dipping down in. It's wrong. Don't do it. It's do the Smith just like you would if you were in a regular barbell squat. So just get under the Smith machine barbell and just go down. Don't step forward. If you step forward, just make a mental note, reset yourself, and start again. All those movements are really good. I'm sure you guys knew them though. However, unfortunately, because everyone likes to hit quads, I mean, if you're gonna break legs down, they like hitting quads, generally more than hamstrings, but I think it's just a knowledge thing. People don't know, what do I do for hamstrings? And here's what we do for hamstrings. If you do the leg press, or if you do a hack squat, or some of those have it's called a V squat, or some of them have a half hack squat thing. If you have that at your gym, I'm sure you already have seen it. I'm sure you know, because I used to have one. I hate those machines. But all of those movements, what you need to do is, if this is the platform, right? This is the platform nice and wide. Your feet are here, mostly in your strongest position, shoulder width and kind of low on the platform. Bam, you're blasting quads right there. Let's move them up and let's move them out. And now you got yourself a hamstring exercise that can just torch them. And the other thing, a little bit of maybe a lifting cue for you, is when you want to hit quads and you're low on the platform and narrow, push off the balls of your feet. When you want to hit hamstrings and you're up and out in that position on the leg press, if this was the leg press pad here, you want to push off of your heels, and that's going to activate your hamstrings. Another thing is barbell RDLs. These are great. However, like I said, with all other exercises, please look them up and let's make sure we're doing them right. You don't want your back rounded. If you do them wrong, you're not going to feel it in your hamstrings. Another good one is the dumbbell RDLs. The lying leg extensions is a great one. The seated leg extensions is another good one. For me, I struggle to find a good machine that actually feels good as a seated leg. I've had some in the past. My current gym has this weird setup. If you have a weird setup, I'm sure you know, but it's not like a must-have, it's a nice-to-have. There's also a standing leg curl. I don't know if you guys have seen that machine. That machine is a great machine. I would highly suggest using that. And then, in addition to the lying down, here's another one that my coach taught me, and I'm gonna pass it along to you guys, is lay down on the bench and put your feet up in a 90-degree position. So if you're laying down here, this is kind of hard to show, but if you're laying down here, and let's say this is your head is facing down. So your head is facing the ground and you're laying on the bench, right? These are your feet. You want your feet up. So feet are here, you're flat, you're facing down, you're facing the floor, and your legs are bent up, okay? Then have a friend put a weight in between your legs right there, and then you're gonna do lying leg curls. If I can get an example of this put together in a video, I will, because they're amazing. Here's what they do for you. Instead of lying leg curls, where you just kind of bam, 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 like you slam those reps out, this one causes you to slow down and control the weight. I'm telling you, if you do that exercise, you could probably Google it as well. If you do that exercise, just try it with a 30 or a 35, and your legs are gonna be like fishtailing back and forth, because it's really, really hard to stabilize. Sumo deadlifts are really good. Another great one to Google. Like I said, you do it right, you'll be on fire. And the last one is glute bridges. I know that especially guys hate this because it's a girl exercise and it's for girls, and that's not what guys do. But here's the thing. Once you get, like, I don't care, like, and that's kind of reference my last video about ego. You need to drop your ego. I have a buddy that works out with me sometimes, and when we go to do these, he goes, I'm not doing them. And I ask him why, and the reason is because it looks stupid. I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? Then one of us will improve and the other won't. Like, you're slowing yourself down in your progress in your muscle development because of what someone else in the gym looks at you and might think. Newsflash, guys, thoughts can't hurt us. So I don't understand what the scary part is, but if you're man enough to do these, please do them, because it's not just a girl exercise, it's super hard, and a lot of people in the group that I'm in can do these with like 500-600 pounds. So do that and tell me that's for a girl. All in all, guys, I like to summarize kind of the tips and tricks of the day, just to give you guys an idea. If you do skip ahead to the end, you're like, hey, he talks a lot, let's just get to the end and get the good parts. This is what it is, the take home items. Number one, how did I start? I started out doing trying different things. I did, and it was my coach's idea. He said, hey, let's hit legs twice a week instead of once, and let's have a day for quads and a day for hamstrings, and my legs blew up, and they've been kind of growing ever since. So what do I encourage you to do? I encourage you to try different things. That's number one. The second thing is, don't treat leg workouts like you treat your arm workouts. When you sit down and plan these out, or even if you just hit the gym after a long day of work, in your head say, okay, I have to hit double the sets. The third thing is, make sure you're hammering your hamstrings just like you hit your quads. Your quads are gonna stop growing if your hamstrings are underdeveloped by a severe amount. So let's hammer those hamstrings. Get a little bit more creative with your workouts. I listed a bunch that I really encourage you guys to try out. And with that one, guys, I'm gonna wrap today's video up. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you press the bell for notifications. You don't want to miss any new content coming out. Be sure to like the video, comment down below, let me know you made it this far, and follow me on Instagram if you're watching me on Instagram. I will see you guys in the next one.